Like, come on.
Well, you got to be careful there. If you're the, I blame the driver.
You blame the driver?
I blame the driver.
You probably should blame the driver. We've got a couple of teams still late rotations into the blue. Rumblers at shelter currently at the moment. Detonator still rotating. That's all they've done so far here for game number 1. 4 AM slowly but surely clearing out school. I think Liga and GYY have played this pretty well, though. They're just holding their nerve, holding their angles.
Yeah, they have to. They're in the odd man situation.
Oh! That was so quick.
I was trying to talk about it, and then Forever just insta downs GYY.
I mean, he picked that for like more than 1 second, and he was down. The nades aren't going to quite finish him off, but I think he bleeds out here. There's no way he's going to get the revive, and for QM, down to 1 player remaining. As we do get our phase 3 circle paper, it goes south again towards Pachinki.
Yeah, you can see W-Click making an aggressive rotation into the center of that circle. So the Lat AM team trying to get some early position advantage for themselves. Now Lazarus has taken up some of the compounds on the eastern side of Pachinki, on the opposite side of the field. And here's Luke 12 from Lazarus, gonna get the knock onto Rybo, and Purdy Curdy's gonna finish off Ragnar.
Yeah, 2 for Lazarus. Silzen just has to keep going past north of Pachinki Fields. And Harold as well for W-Click. They're down to 2 players remaining. Luke 12 and Purdy Curdy doing a decent job of holding their compound. 2 kills for Lazarus. Flood in the kill feed goes down to KL from OGN SS Force. And they're on the board now. They've got 1 as they got breached by Atletico.
Yeah, Entis Force hasn't really had to move too much. They've got a 2-2 split across the compounds in between School and Pachinki, and Atletico's trying to push in. In fact, they have breached. You can see Zoidmate and Extreme are here with Indigo and Kale, but Indigo's going to ramp up that buggy and back it up a little bit to make sure it's safe.
A lot of teams now starting to consider Pachinki as an option, especially if you go south. Genesis just holding church. AHQ have actually gone to the center of Pachinki. Indigo and KL are happy to hold this by themselves. Sungjiang and Doya at the other halfway house, just southwest. So they'll hold the 2-2 split for now, and it goes to show the nerve they've got here to just take this 2v2 and back themselves in and not call for reinforcements.
All right, Fatal's rolling up on the Potato Mountain with Sun Sisters up on top already. You can see Fia-chan coming up around the side here. Now the low ground has been seeded by the Sun Sisters. NN trying to jump up, see if he can see any members of Sun Sisters down there. You can see Gabba very weak already. He's flashing in that white health.
Yeah, Sun Sister though pushing more towards the blue here. They're getting really aggressive with this position, but it's a bad aggressive. They're down below. Afrika's got the high ground. Afrika's got the better position inside of the circle if they move more towards the west as well. So I'm not exactly sure what Sun Sister are trying to achieve here.
Yeah, they're trying to get some kind of flank, but Afrika Freaks Fatal already has the circle and the high ground. This is a really tricky situation for Sun Sister, going to really have to out-duel AFF, and the Rumblers looking to rumble.
Let's see if they're going to join this party. And who they're going to pinch would most likely be Sun Sister. They might get spotted by Afrika, though, who have got the high ground. Shadow holding at the rock, making sure they're not getting pushed from the blue, but it's not going to be coming from them. It's Fia-chan with some damage onto the Rumblers. Cherry Poppin'. Nice tap, triple tap from Cherry Poppin'. That'll sit them down, and Sun Sister down to 3. Now they're getting pushed as well by Afrika Freaks, and then knocked down. Style will get Crazy Sam, and it's all going horribly wrong for the Japanese team.
They're on the backside of the hill, a perfect position to get flanked on, and they are getting torn apart between the Rumblers and AFF, and that circle hard shifts southeast once again.
That phase 4 circle right onto the Pachinki fields, right onto the warehouses. Get Detsu knocked down. There's 2 down as well for Fatal. It's only Lambo and Shadow that remain. Gamma with a nade is the last one alive for Sun Sister as well. Is it a great nade? Not quite, but it's forced. Shadow at the rock, pushes forward, is aggressive in a 1 versus 3 here. The last remaining player alive for his team. Not going for the revive. I don't think they have the time either in 30 seconds. That blue moves. I think wants to try and finish off the rest of Afrika.
Yeah, and we're into phase 4 circle, so if you are downed outside of this, you cannot heal yourself up enough in time. There's a Molly here. AFF getting really aggressive, and they are going to take down the Sun Sisters. They're the first team eliminated.
Gabba got the knockdown onto NN, but it's all that will be. Waldo gets the elimination onto Wicked. They had Detonator pushing in from behind them. Rumbler certainly a rumbling early here for game number 1. 2 early kills. Cherry Poppin' and Los HD. Detonator, of course, they're down to 3 now. Rumblers have got the advantage here, numbers-wise.
Yeah, it's going to, ooh, but a nice shot from Hikari. It's going to get Microfry with that SLR. Great knock. Instantly, the smokes are coming down from Waldo. It's providing a little bit of cover fire here as well. There's another fight breaking out between Liquid and oh my goodness, there is a grenade from Jeems. I think it's just a smoke, though, to buy Jempty some time.
Sting Divine versus Liquid. Jempty hiding at the bottom of the triple. Oh, wow. Big day from Hikari in the kill feed. I'm sure we'll get the replay of that later. Jempty's going to be knocked down by Nikki. Ibiza holding out sides, tries to get some shots through the window. Unable to connect and unable to save Jempty. James have taken down as well. 2 immediately eliminated for Liquid. Sting Divine are coming out ahead here pretty comfortably. They've still got 4 up.
A big fight here for Divine. The other SCA team that came through Armory Gaming had a miserable day yesterday, and they're looking to try to redeem their region a little bit, but that's a mistake there. It's like there might have been a mishap with a grenade. I saw Levi's is going to finish off his teammate Turtle, and back over to the fight between Rumblers and Detonator. You can see Waldo is knocked there. Grenade coming through from Sungjong is going to find Extreme.
And that's going to be Athletico taking it out in 15th position. Not a good start for the other Australian team. It's not looking good for Liquid either, though. Sapti knocked down. Only Ibiza remaining and standing for Team Liquid. This would be a horrible start for them.
Yeah, definitely not what they're looking for. You can see Michael has spotted out Isco. Isco's head is available to be shot, but he's not going to pull the trigger, opting to get the position situation going for themselves instead. And here is Isco getting in that buggy, going to start moving up as the other members of TSM trying to regroup with Iroh down in the sushi houses.
TSM certainly have been the beneficiaries of these circles for game number 1. Warehouses at Pachinki Fields, they're sitting comfortable, but getting kills is going to be proving to be difficult, I think, for the remainder of this game, at least until the later stages, to the later phases. 25 seconds until phase number 5. Septi goes down to the blue. Only Ibiza remains. He's pushing in near church area of Pachinki. He has been spotted as well by Genesis. I'm expecting to see him pop up in that kill feed, and for all the wrong reasons.
Ibiza trying to heal himself through this blue, see if he can find a sneaky way to get into the west side of Pachinki. Genesis has solidified themselves on the northern side, so it looks like if he has enough heals available, he should be able to at least get into the city, but the circle has shifted over to the east, and that means we've got about half field, half forest in there.
And I wonder, for Luke 12 and Purdy, of course, only 2 for Lazarus. If they might get breached by a group of 4, that could be their downfall, holding this decent position inside of the circle. But hey, what else are you going to do? They've got to defend their territory now that they've got here for these later stages. It's looking good now for Lazarus after a shaky start.
Yeah, Lazarus, I think, has one of the best, if not the best, position in this circle. They've lost 2 men. The good news is they have the great position and the defender's advantage for themselves.
So far, total rankings, it's 4 AM topping the charts with 5. There goes Ibiza. H-Win will put an end to his misery. Only 1 point gained for game 1 for Team Liquid. Now, Lost HD with a nade towards Aqua 5. Oh, that's a perfect nade! Knocked down onto Aqua 5. Isco's spotted as well at the tree. Lands the shot back, though, with the SLR in the 4 times. Last one standing for Detonator, and that blue is now moving as well towards him. I don't see Isco getting out of here alive.
No, this is really desperate here for Isco. All the angles are pretty well covered on him, shooting out the tires just to make sure he can't even use that buggy to retreat there, and that's a really awful situation. In fact, there they go. Rumblers are going to take down Detonator in 13th place.
What did we say about Rumblers? What did we say? They can cause an upset here, coming in as one of the last teams. Genesis push up just outside Pachinki. There's a great nade that's thrown towards him. It bounces, but doesn't quite bounce far enough. They're holding a decent spot away from their vehicles. Now they can move back to them, knowing that they've already exploded. Good position hold from Genesis. Now they can also catch teams coming outside of Pachinki. CC and SR for AHQ are trying to eliminate them before they push right on top of them. There's another smoke thrown right in front of SR's feet. There's 3 up for AHQ, but I think they're out of nades.
Wow, SR with an amazing push here. Coming up, he might just catch Genesis completely off guard. CC avoiding critical damage. He takes a bunch, but Genesis does find SR. They're going to finish him off. So a attempt at a sneaky play doesn't pay off. They're going to get Teme on the backside. So at least picking up 1 kill for AHQ.
It is a slaughter fest outside of Pachinki. Profi was knocked down. They'll get the revive. Crow Crowd are still trying to make their way out as well. They're going to lose Nookie. It's Tixu that all that remains now for Crow Crowd, as well as Milk for AHQ coming out of that Pachinki slaughterhouse. TSM have just been sitting pretty this entire time, and soon you'd think phases 6, 7, and 8, that's when they're going to start roaming, looking for kills. And to capitalize on this game, as Tixu finds Milk, he'll get the first spray, he gets the second spray, but the blue will finish him off. Crowcrowd out in 10th, AHQ in 11th.
Hey, at least Tixu made some of it. A good shot with the barrel, catching the head of Milk, and that's going to be those two teams eliminated as our next circle is getting ready to show itself in about 5 seconds here. Entis Force, Kale has been knocked, but it looks like they should be able to potentially get the revive on him, and we're just going to center right up, and Lazarus continues to have that great compound, but will somebody try to push it?
9 teams, 24 alive at the 22-minute mark of game number 1 for day 2. Group 2, Harold last one alive for WClick. 19 health has forced back. Actually forced towards Levi's of Sting Divine, who's still alive as well. We've got a couple of really injured teams here still in this with some solo players. QM, WClick, Sting Divine, all with solo players. Purdy Curdy knocked down by Gustav. Now TSM need to start moving and gaining control of this next phase now for phase 6.
Yeah, that's a real unfortunate situation for Lazarus, taking that headshot. See if they can get the revive there on Purdy Curdy. Levi's playing the sneaky snake as Genesis trying to hunt down Harold. H-Win almost able to get a shot in there with that SKS, but going inside the bunker hill is Harold for WClick, and here's Levi's, he pops up, he gets nerf in the head, has to immediately prone back down, isn't able to get a knock, and he's going to be taken down himself.
Goes down in a blaze of glory, but unable to find a knock and do any damage to Genesis. H-Win eliminates Levi's. Now the bubble. We've got 8 teams remaining. Nice nade from KO. That'll finish off Harold. And instantly down to 7 from 9. It's still 22 alive as K-Mine spots him to go with the rock. And now Genesis can actually feed on Entis Force here. They're stuck. They're up the north side with the blue at the backs, and they need to push up this hill. It's dangerous. They've got 4 AM looking at them, and on the other side, it's Genesis.
Yeah, this is a real do-or-die situation for Entis Force. They're completely getting torn apart. H-Win gets Sungjung. Forever gets Indigo. So 2 members already knocked here. Forever trying to confirm. He does get Sungjung. Doya's trying to hold down the angle to give Kale a little bit of time, but Kale is very weak. Doya taking some return fire from Genesis. Going to try to cook a grenade. Ooh, Propney gets taken down and flushed by Kale. A nice move by him, but he's going to pay the price for it.
Yeah, H-Win's going to get the trade. Doya, though, with the trade back onto H-Win, so it's pretty even so far. Although OG and Entis Force down to just Doya remaining. It's 2 standing for Genesis. K-Mind and Nerf. They go for the revive onto H-Win to try and take 3 into these further phases. They're going to need as many players as they can alive, because the teams that are alive, TSM's got 4, Afrika's got 4. There goes Liga, finished off in 7th position for QM. Doya doing everything he can. He has to reload. Nerf is very, very low. H-Win still not revived either, but no nade. The nade would have been perfect here. Wants to try and floss H-Win. It's Enhen who stalks the kill for Afrika Freaks.
Oh, Duya is going to get K-Mine. Can he outduel Nerf as well? No! It is going to be Shadow from Afrika Freaks Fatal that finds him. While all this is going on, Afrika Freaks Fatal 4 strong, rolling up the northeastern side and is cleaning up what is left of this fight.
Yeah, Genesis are going to go out here. It's Lambu who finishes off Nerf. Afrika Freaks Fatal are certainly cleaning up here in terms of kills. TSM on a donut.
TSM, though, had a great position, covering a ton of ground here. They do have a little bit of circle for themselves, and Lazarus, the circle continues to go on top of them. Can they hold this out? They do have a knock under their belt, so if Purdy Curdy gets hit again, he's going to go down a lot faster. Red's coming through, but Afrika Freaks Fatal does not want to let that make any difference. 4 AM going down in 4th place. 12
kills already for Afrika Freaks Fatal. Lazarus with only 2 kills, but you kind of give them a reprieve. They were down to 2 players for the majority of this game. For TSM, though, 0 kills. I understand the wariness of holding the position and getting fed. You're not going to find the kills. But at some point, you've got to come out and play, and I just don't think they've done that early enough. Now they could actually find themselves in a position where they could actually go out here with 0 kills.
All right, a big fight going out. Rory gets the first knock onto Lambu, and Purdy Curdy spots NN out as well. NN, I think, is taking some damage. Yes, indeed, from Rory. So a great position here from Rory behind these rocks. He has found a great angle onto AFF.
They are going to be well equipped here in terms of nades and smoke grenades as well, because TSM have not been fighting here. So they should be well equipped to finish off this game. They've just got to start getting these knocks, and you saw that from Rory. Was able to pick up 2. Style trying to move down the hill. I think they want to try and get to Lazarus's building. Gustav as well probably wants to do the exact same thing. Nade thrown in, and it's not going to be enough time for Purdy Curdy to realize that Luke 12 remains. Half health, not a nade thrown in. Never mind, bounces off the front doorstep. as Gustav continues to pepper. And as I mentioned, they've got the utility here. Luke 12 hides and holds on for now.
Exactly correct. TSM now has the win condition. Purdy is going to be flushed out by Gustav, so it is going to be one member standing for Lazarus, 2 here for AFF. Gustav trying to spray in there to get Luke 12, but Luke 12 safely behind the wall for now. Rory trying to get in there, using the shots from Gustav to be able to position himself a little bit so Luke 12 won't get the information on where he is. That grenade does catch a little bit of Luke 12, does a bit of damage. Now Rory's cooking another one.
Really smart from Luke 12, moving from room to room, but unfortunately too many nades to deal with and not enough rooms. Rory will finish off Luke 12. Lazarus in third. TSM now to finish off Style. It's 1v4 territory. Style spotted immediately, though. The shots already continue to land. This will be a TSM win for game number 1. 6 kills. Not the most flashy game paper, but hey, a win is a win.
Hey, they took the right position early on. They got center circle, split 2-2 in those compounds, which are very powerful around that area. You can control so much of the zone from there. A lot of credit to Lazarus as well for taking the compound north of where they are. That is very powerful in that situation too. So those two teams deserve some credit for taking that. AFF, though, with a ton of kills. They were monstrous that round.
Absolutely monstrous. They're going to be the ones to potentially walk away with more points even than TSM there. And wow, big start for them. TSM, of course. And we know it doesn't take many games. Really, 6 games. You have maybe one more performance like that and you could be finding yourself skipping tomorrow's games.
Easily. Another big game like that, another double-digit kill game will basically guarantee you yourself a spot in the semis. This is what we saw from AFF at the beginning of the Face It Global Summit. They played really well. They got a couple wins early on. But as time progressed, it was harder and harder for them. They kind of started to fall apart. This is what I want to see from AFF. Knowing the rotations, they took the area that did not have a lot of teams early. You were asking about that earlier, right? Why are they doing this so late? Because they know where everybody's going and they're going to take something safe. And from there, they got aggressive and just worked the right positions.
And you say worked. In the end, it did work, didn't it? And they took their time. They didn't rush. They played a really passive style in